Well, beloved dub motherfuckers, what is going on, everyone? It is I. It is everyone's favorite jack of all trades with foul mouth, Commodore Urban, and welcome back to another awesome fucking video, guys. I greatly do appreciate it. And before I do dive in this bitch, big special shout out to all of you guys, my viewers, and my subscribers who stick around watching this shit. The reason why I fucking do it is for all you guys, so yeah. As you can see, these two lovely ladies, this is New Jersey, as depicted in Azure Lane, and this is supposed to be Iowa from Kantai Collection, which is not really correct. Well, I had AI make it for me, but not really correct, but it does get a point. And the book that they are really looking over together is the Iowa Class Battleships by Malcolm Muir. There's a reason why today we're going to be fucking reviewing that book. It's been a long fucking time coming. But as you can see, we have here my partially built model of the USS New Jersey, the second of the class of 4, technically class of 6 Iowa class battleships. 4 were built, 6 were projected, and 2 never were completed. But anyway, as you can see, today, guys, the book we are reviewing is the Iowa class battleships. Iowa, New Jersey, Missouri, and Wisconsin by Malcolm Muir. It says weapons and warfare. And on the back of the book, box. I can never say back of the fucking box. No, back of the fucking book. The perilous missions of the U.S. Navy's most illustrious battleships, the Iowa class, are completely chronicled in this accurate, spellbinding history. You'll find out why these deadly behemoths have survived for almost 50 years, longer than any other battleship in the world. Apart from the ill-fated Musashi and Yamato, the Iowa, the New Jersey, the Missouri, and the Wisconsin are the largest and most powerful battleships ever built. You fucking bet your asses they are. First-hand accounts and original sources trace both the combat and peacetime careers of these magnificent vessels and the successive changes in their appearance, equipment, weaponry, and structure. From their early adaptation to anti-aircraft escorts for the massive carrier and assault task force in World War II, to their entry into state-of-the-art nuclear electronic sea warfare of the 1980s and beyond, they are fully revealed in 175 rare action photos and a riveting narrative. No naval enthusiast or student of modern warfare can afford to neglect these monsters of the U.S. Navy. And fuck, they are right. It is a great book. Basically, when this book was written, when this book was published or written, it was the original, this paperback version was published in 1991, but when it originally was published in 1987, because at the very end, Fit for Service, the reincarnation, when he wrote this at the time, only Iowa and New Jersey were back in service. Missouri was being refitted, and Wisconsin hadn't been dealt with yet. But the contents of the book include your preface in chapters 1 through 9. So, of course, your appendixes, endnotes, and all that other shit. Basically, what this book does, Malcolm Muir goes into the very subject of the ships from the very beginning, from the design and the construction, which this would be the Missouri being built, Illinois, Wisconsin. Yes, Illinois was one of the 2 Iowas that never were finished, and the other one was the Kentucky. But more about that later. See, Wisconsin again, New Jersey. Basically gives you a very detailed aspect of, swift ships, big guns. Talks about their weapon systems, their operating systems, just everything on the moon, and it's the history of the ships themselves too. Like, that's a really cool freaking picture. I'm not sure which one that is, but it's one of the Iowas. It's an early one because you see all the zinc anodes on the rudder, which New Jersey did not have that. That she had a bunch of zinc anodes around the bilge keels and around there, but not any on the rudders. So I'm thinking that's probably earlier. But they talk about the early World War II careers of these ships. And of course, that's New Jersey. She was the only ship to have a rounded bridge face ever built. But they talk about the early World War II careers of these ships. And then they go through the, basically the post-war history of the ships and the history of them in the Korean War, which the Korean War, they were all in operation at that point in time. See, the war, this would be World War II, but at the same time, see right here, right there, the famous signing of the peace treaty on the Missouri. That's pretty fucking cool. And of course, war again. And it actually talks about a little bit about the just different thing about the different ships, like the temper incident is talked about in this book, and also the sinking of an island by the New Jersey was also talked about in this book, because she was the only battleship during Vietnam. While her other three sisters slept, she was the one in Vietnam. Now, when I was talking about earlier about Kentucky, in 1956, around somewhere around in there, the Wisconsin ran into the USS Eaton, which is DDE 510, in heavy fog. Well, they took the bow off of Kentucky, cut it off, and they surgically put that onto Wisconsin, and so her nickname is Wistucky, or Whiskey. So here's a picture of Kentucky being built, and there is a picture of Kentucky going to the scrapyard. She never was finished. Fucking bummer, really, because it'd been awesome at least one more of these had been finished. But see, the Vietnam War, which was just basically New Jersey doing her thing, including fucking sinking an island. That's fucking OG shit. That's gangsta shit. And of course, talking about the reactivation of the Iowas, which a lot of people really had pushed back against it, but Ronald Reagan was like, let's do it. Because it actually costed less money to reactivate an Iowa-class battleship than it did to build one of these destroyers, which is a Buchanan, the USS Buchanan. It cost more to build one of those to refit one of those. And the Iowas are so big you could put multiple weapon systems and shit on them. So, yeah, fucking go figure. This is Iowa being refitted. There's Iowa again. But like I said, when this book was written, only the big stick, the Iowa, and the big J, the New Jersey, were in service because Mighty Mo was being rebuilt, and Whiskey, or Temper, was still waiting her turn. And of course, your appendix is really cool too, because the original specifications for the Iowa class, as written, alternate guns for the Iowas, the 16-inch 56 caliber and 18-inch 48 caliber gun. That would have been a badass gun on there. Ordnance data for the 16-inch 50 caliber turret. And all these really awesome diagrams of the inside of the turrets, which really makes this book really awesome. 16-inch 50 caliber turret. Talks about how it's operating. See, we have a whole series of pictures shows how it was done. Armor weight, camouflage, operational casualties suffered by New Jersey during the bombardment of Millie, class milestones, fuel consumption, radar casualties suffered by the Wisconsin during the bombardment of Hiachi, damage suffered by the Missouri on Thimble Shoals, where she ran aground. Stupid people. Here we go. See, Iowa, New Jersey, Missouri, Wisconsin, Illinois, Kentucky. Here's Illinois, and there's Kentucky. Yeah. I didn't know there was 2 other battleships. Damage claimed by the New Jersey. Evaluation of the effectiveness of battleship gunfire support. A battleship versus carrier comparison. And of course, endnotes. These are interesting to read if you're wanting to learn more. Bibliography and your index. It's basically overall what Malcolm Muir set out to do with this book. He pretty much did it. He gives you a pretty fucking good detailed essay on the history of these 4 magnificent ships. Well, 6 magnificent ships. Even though 2 of them were never really finished, but still, it's still a history about the magnificent ships of this class. It's a little dated, like I said. This book is dated. It's old. It's like this one's 1991, but originally came out in 1987. But it's a nice piece of research. It's a nice piece of literature to have if you want to learn more about them, especially if you're modeling these ships, because it gives you a pretty fucking good insight into what was there. So overall, the Iowa class battleship by Malcolm Muir, I give the book 2 thumbs up, 5 stars. It's, like I said, it's a little bit dated reading, but it's a fucking good book. It's definitely a good book on the subject. Definitely one well worth having if you are interested in ships in general, or if you're interested in warships, or if you are really interested in Iowa class battleships. So, there you have it, guys. That is my book review. That is my review of the book, The Iowa Class Battleships by Malcolm Muir. If you have any questions or comments, leave them in the comment section below. I'll get back with you. If you're new to the channel, like shit, fucking do. Hit the fucking subscribe button, hit the damn notification bell. Never miss a video from yours truly ever again. And until next time, this is Commodore Urban saying a smooth seas and clear skies. Happy sailing with you. God bless you all. Take care, stay safe, be yourself. Jesus and the good Lord love y'all very much. Until next time around, I'll catch you on war and trade when the hell anyone knows. And anchors away, motherfuckers. Yeah.